Hi everyone, welcome. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, and today the topic of sexual PTSD was coming up, not only from my own intuition, but also from the movie I watched last night, so very much that is the topic of the day. Sexual PTSD and knowing that you're worthy of someone loving you just as you are, okay? So we did the masculine read at 10:49 today. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 49 is the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, being happy with yourself. And that's where that happiness comes from, is first finding happiness within yourself. Today is September 20th, 2019. The 20 is all about judgment. And today added up to, what is today? Today's 41.5, so it's the Ace of Cups. So the beautiful energy of the Ace of Cups of spiritual love, self-love, and a new love, and in combination with judgment, making a decision that's wise for yourself. That final judgment of not needing to judge yourself, forgiving yourself for all the poor decisions you may have felt like you made in your life. Or maybe they weren't such poor decisions. Maybe you needed to experience those things to be who you are today, in this moment, and appreciating who you are in this moment. So for the masculine read today, that we have the 20 or the 2 of the judgment and the 5 of the 41.5, which is also an ace, the Ace of Cups. It's about expansion of the divine feminine energy. The major arcana for the read here for the divine masculine were Luna, which is the moon. It is the Syrian starseed deck, is the main deck here. Alchemy, which is like the Temperance card. Abundance, which is like the Empress. Justice, the Lovers, and then before the read was the Higher Self, like the High Priestess. There were 2 pentacles, 1 wand, 1 cup, and 2 swords, which is 21-12. So very much of the completion energies of 12/21, 2012, the end of karma, the end of the 3D life. The only court card that came up here in this read is the Knight of Wands. The Queen of Cups comes in after the read at the top there. And then the numbers here and the code line were all about self-love and music today. The music of the spheres is coming up. And the self-love of kind of coming, I can't get the words out, coming out as music. Like, what is the music of self-love to you? So the message here on that code line and the numbers here were, besides that 21-12, which also came out as 12-12, on the code line was 28. So that's the 2 of Wands, or the Twin Flames, which came up from the numbers 18 and 10, which is the Moon and the Wheel of Fortune. Seeing that reflection of yourself, the shadowy side of yourself, the reflection of the twins, the 28. Also 22 came up, the Fool, 10-10, that very high vibrational energy of that higher consciousness, the 78 of the dream family, the 10 of Pentacles. 210 came up, as well as 12, which is completion again, and the wise man, hanging out and being wise, seeing new perspectives. 45 of the 5 of Cups, allowing yourself to grieve when needed. 24 is the Queen of Wands, also Omega, the end of the Greek alphabet, and the end of karma. And then 57 is the 3 of Swords. Okay, the broken heart, the separation, the need to go through the rain to see the sunshine. For we wouldn't appreciate that sunshine if there were no cooling off period or rain. So here, the message about self-love and music. The key to DNA, the DNA ladder, in the moon, or the false light, or the magician's strength in manipulation, is the divine director, the co-creation to the nth degree of the high vibration at the new moon, which then you can perform alchemy, the fidelity of the divine director regarding self-love and music, the music of the spheres. So it's referencing the full moon as the darker side, and then the new moon as the high vibrational energy, the time of co-creation, and the midpoint between them which is that very balanced energy. The to the nth degree, the human DNA, acing the 8, which is the dance, the infinity upright is the dance of your own inner masculine and feminine in balance perpetually, in divine co-creation to the nth degree, that high vibration destiny of the new moon alchemy, the fidelity of the emperor and the hermit making music together. Okay, the self-love. Phantom of the Opera was coming up here. Does the night cure in Phantom of the Opera, do you actually cure those issues by keeping wounds in the dark, right? Like the Phantom of the Opera, and just like the, Quasimodo. It's the same kind of energy, keeping your secrets in the dark. You live this very secluded, lonely life. So really, does it help you to cure your wounds by keeping them secret, by keeping them in the dark? The alchemical process of changing the full moon false light, the dividedness, the separation, into the new moon of the divine light, the oneness, the fidelity to self. So as we start here, we have the underlying energies here. We have the moon here. We have the 10 of orbs or swords here. This is the higher self. And then this is the ace of crystals or ace of pentacles. So the moon and the dark night, death, rebirth, deep secrets and mental disease and loneliness coming out. To release now. Waning down to the full moon. The halfway point is tomorrow, the 21st, from the full moon to the new moon. The peace point, where the worst is over. The higher self is reversed, the secret's out, to deal with deep issues exposed prior to a new life. The nighttime, where there is no light or little light, enough to throw shade, where secrets lie dormant and severe pain and betrayal come back to haunt you again. The diamond hiding in the rough, about to be exposed, that breaking moment of pushing the baby out of the womb is painful. The climax and then the bliss of release. So the climax is really the pain, and then the bliss comes in the release of the baby, right? Your journey is the painful climax. Your union, the blissful release. Dark night of the soul is union with self. Only with twins, incarnate, union is self, is union with twin. The Emperor reversed, unstable or moving, ending marriage or ending a celebration. Coming up is the whistleblower, displaying low vibration, the tattletale, in need of help. Only tales to be telling is his own history, his story of human DNA, what it was for him to be human. The whistleblower on others is the one who's out of control, an opportunist in need of help to solve his own wounds, right? Someone who wants to blow the whistle on others, but not on themselves. The Empress was coming up reversed in the underlying energy here, but she is upright in the rest of the read. But with the reversed Empress, presently without affection in a breakup at the full moon, which was the 14th, the Empress reversed considered a nutcase or the fruit ball by the cowboy or fireman without affection, standing on a landmine like Kip in The English Patient, in bare feet under the boardwalk, facing the board about ice cream and nuts and why Kip dismantles landmines for a living. Okay, and that was at 11:33. Justice and that 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself without feeling defensive or needing to react. So why is he dismantling landmines for a living? Why does he feel like he needs to be stressed out perpetually? And this talks about the fight or flight wounds of the psoas muscle, which needs to be cleared, because the psoas muscle absorbs all of the fight or flight trauma in your life. All of those dogs who've scared you because they barked it when you were young, all of those energies get stored in your psoas and then screw up the connection between the upper half and the lower half of your body. So who's the crazy one here? Here's the masculine calling the feminine, right? The crazy, and and nuts, the nut case and the fruit ball, and yet he's dismantling landmines for a living. So who is the crazy one here? The Empress detached from heart, and yet displays the heart in her business window. Green and magenta, presently sad, without affection, from the Emperor, out of control or ego death, aroused by low vibration, in need of help, money, opportunity to learn, an invite to be included in a group. And this 28 came up again here. So again, whoever the masculine and feminine is here, because it can be the masculine and it's karmic, it can be the masculine and the feminine, it can be somebody's parents, whoever it is, but both the Emperor and the Empress came up reversed in two different places in the underlying energy here. So 2 ending a marriage, moving but still under the same roof, or just unstable and living together, or celebration is canceled, delayed, or just over. A very volatile situation, just waiting to explode. Could be a child there as well, who is the whistleblower or the tattletale, being used between parents, or a poor student aroused by their bad behavior, getting in trouble because at least then they get their parents' attention. The Queen of Swords reversed in deep mourning, in PTSD, in the aftermath of deliberations, of poor choices after the war, laying down swords, powerless and financially or practically drained, and not knowing where to go at this point. At home, without a home to go to. It's very disorienting, to say the least. That Y in the road is Devil's Alley, leaving you vulnerable for any of those 3 groups in the Y in the road, the 3 pathways, to recruit and manipulate you, to get you on their side, when you should only be on your side, the side of love, your connection with your higher self. The war widow after the war, when the soldier hasn't returned, not due to death, but they haven't returned due to PTSD, can't handle normal life after the war, always on edge, fight or flight. So you guys do that deep psoas trauma release muscle exercise. The one I like on YouTube is literally called that, Deep Psoas Trauma Release by Mabo, M-A-B-O. So try that on YouTube to release your trauma muscle. Very important there. Perpetual stress will kill you before the enemy does. Lay down your swords and apologize to self and release trauma from your psoas muscle. Religious factors came up here for the underlying energies for the masculine, which doesn't have to be religious. It can be any differences, whether it's age, culture, whatever it is. And then passion was beneath it. So feeling passion, but then being blocked by differences, or religion, culture, age, political differences, whatever it is. And that was a confirmation there. Lover's triangle. Release openly. The hermit missing their flame and coming out with it now. Not walking away, but instead dealing with the negative self-talk, not pretending that it doesn't exist, after keeping to themselves and manipulating others to stay quiet in order to keep their secrets. What's the point? The glass slipper fits. The divine masculine allowed others to step on his heart, thus his divine feminine's heart, hiding dessert, no more pretending that things are pretty and hiding the harsh stuff with magenta flower planters, using them to make everything look pretty when it's not. Then V1, 8, and then 1X were coming up. The 6, the 8, and the 9. And then it came up V2X, or the V8, the drink, times 4. Have a V8 times 4. Or creation 2 times, or is much larger than you imagined. It's all love, the 6. And then underneath that was the 26 of love partnership, which brings the 6 exponentially to something much bigger because of the 2. Right? 6 is love, and then we have 26, now exaggerating that same 2 that we just talked about. 2 times the love. It's not more of a burden, it's more of the love. If you're in a partnership that makes it a burden, then that is not love. Love is plus 2. The Empress reversed There's confirmation. The Empress reversed is a fire swallower, protected by good Jupiter placement only. So they may have had a great birth chart as far as their Jupiter placement. The Emperor reversed by death. They are influenced by death and deep transformation. The King of Wands, Sagittarius, may have a good Jupiter placement, but may fear death, or Scorpio placement. The Empress reversed, and the energies coming up here were Taurus, Aries, Scorpio, and Sagittarius at 1205, which is the Hangman, and the Hierophant. So that could be religious persecution for sure. That's Jesus on the cross. Give me just 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. So the Empress reversed and the Emperor reversed, and the King of Wands, he's upright, being patient angel, transmuting the dark night energies or full transformation of a painful ending where the worst is almost over, still coming together at work or place of co-creation with these dark energies. As 3 dark birds leave the situation, good riddance. After getting rid of dark energies, things can get back to normal at work. But in the painful ending, Bambi is left to pick up the pieces of the man of passion who always made it look seamless, but fire was always burning all around him, unable to keep up with the transmutation, keeping his work boots on to protect his feet in the brush, furniture going up in smoke, and back to work on Monday. Co-creating at night without affection and powerless to their differences, and keeping things to themselves and just dealing with it, as opposed to talking to the world about love. The dark side of the moon is very cold and lonely. At least the light side gets a hint of where to go from here. Those willing to deal with shade and shady people rather than go through the dark night of the soul to see themselves and become authentic. It seems like an easier path. Recently for the Divine Masculine comes abundance, the Empress upright, the 88 in the numerology cards, the 2 masculine and feminine standing side by side, both doing the dance of that perfect balance of masculine and feminine, takes over to turn the Empress right side up. Or this could be another Empress that's different than the other one with the Emperor reversed. Strong and controlling their inner beast in their light with dreams and healed, rushing in passionately to inspire going forward, hanging out to see new perspectives and be wise in the truth and offer it to the world to complete a cycle, offering truth to the divine feminine. The King of Swords upright is ending the war, letting go, releasing attachments to heartbreak and separation, maybe from the King of Wands, watching over justice, divorce, or a Libra, ending a family cycle, in plans for a new life or new infusion of money that's now been held back. As the truth is out, the crown is on display, and boldly moving forward, upward, erring on the side of the light, the abundance, the 88, the twins side by side. The foundation is not walking away, but feeling into the uncomfortable feelings to see where they come from, doing the work, while in another's energy field. So that energy was, that 8 of Cups energy was literally come up as not only doing the work when you're by yourself, walking away and going within, but now I'm seeing the 8 of Cups reversed as when you have to do the work while being in other people's energies, whether it's kids or work, whatever it is. Living together with somebody else. Defenseless to the energies and attacks, but no longer caring or no longer fearing it because all is fair with Libra energy balanced or justice rings. Settlements are fair and final. And the 28 comes up here again, which is the 2 of Wands, the 2 flames. And it was 1228 here as well, emphasizing the 28 of the Hangman. Finally present and headed in a peaceful direction when someone waves or somebody moves away, or the kids go back to their mother's house, and then the Divine Masculine can then be alone again and just walk away and go within by themselves with their own energy. So you always have time to do that too, but you also have to learn how to do the work while you're in other people's energies, and that was at 1229, hanging out and being present. The center here is the Ten of Pentacles, the abundant family or family legacy, that dream family leading the way with good news, success, and attention in need of help, money, time, and energy, an opportunity, an invitation, or this is an opportunist who invites themselves in when it comes to families with money, right? Or someone who was a poor student becomes successful anyway and now wants to be an example, where the magician manifests with DNA, their DNA strand, the page of cups, their own child, their own DNA, with a message of love, puppy love, or ability to co-create or create a child, or be a love child, or wanting to help other children like him. How to become abundant without being a good student. To bond, to come together with soulmates, people like you. Manifesting the end of conflict, patience with this awakening, and new ideas unfolding, the challenge being alchemy, the alchemical process, the patience to regain your balance in it, and holding your tongue to end a fight or competition when feeling abandoned out of the cold, injured, and hurt, and literally feeling excluded or in exile. Knowing your worth in a turn of fate. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. The King of Swords purges stress and his up nights with the Empress and Queen of Cups until they work things out to end the conflict. It's like someone's their thoughts on resolving conflict may be at home to stay up all night until it's all resolved, like not going to bed angry with each other. To end the conflict, having patience to see eye to eye and connect. Or the King of Swords is stressed out about 3 generations of women, the Empress, the Queen of Cups, and the Page of Cups. Or possibly his daughter had a child. Or in separation, one child is with him and another with a wealthy family, either his family or the mother's family, to give attention or education that they need. So one might be better if one stays with the masculine and the other with the family. Patient angel in awakening, or ideas in knowing about healing and dreams come true. The star that hangs over the Empress naturally, and the sadness and grief that hangs over the Queen of Cups. The King of Swords is hanging over the Page of Cups. Unhappy alone in surrender, giving up frustrated, but moving passionately to get busy physically and align with desires to be more spiritual and outside the box, or divorced, or working on their divorce, with the Taurus reversed, or a break in tradition, commitment, or contract. Now, crowning is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands here is the crowning energy. It's definitely upright, grounding and integrating that offer of love. The King of Cups resting and connecting in the 5D, healing and dreaming of fairy tale ending, of dreams coming true, and a home and union and business of co-creation and all doing well, unconditional love, surrendering to sadness, guilt, allowing all of it. As the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius angel, patient with fantasy family in awakening, sharing equally, and even negative self-talk, or bad news, or no messages at all, surprising her in his knowing with a message of love. Rescuing on horseback, making dreams come true, manifesting, working to align with desires and creativity, and moving or ending a marriage or home. Grieving loss and or shame, unhappiness of being alone, no more sexual competition or no more need for sexual competition, just being in surrender. There is no need for big muscles. Like, so, you know, that need to be something that you're not. That you won't be loved unless you have really big muscles or you don't look perfect every day. It's like letting go of that. There's no more competition. It's just to be loved. 1251 is the Hangman and the King of Swords. In the downturn of fate or just slow motion and the retrogrades, controlling their third energy and their frustrations, in need of an opportunity or help to just get more physical, play, exercise, do something creative, and new work at what you love, a spiritual discipline. All of these things for the masculine to incorporate into his life. And that was at 1254, the message. The hangman hanging out to see new perspectives, and the 54 of the Page of Swords, right? Spreading his word, his own message. And they're still struggling because my voice is breaking up every time they talk about the Page of Swords. Soon for the masculine is the Two of Pentacles in the Sirian Starseed deck, though, is very much about surrendering to the universe in a bold move to move ahead and offer something practical to his twin, something loving and childlike, innocent and sweet, sincere and authentic, patient to connect, eye to eye, face to face, cheek to cheek. The divine masculine is justice, blind and fair. And I love this line, in faith we measure, in patience we dare. Drained or sick, or kids are sick, or just he's sick of expressing feelings, or drained in expressing feelings, of energy back and forth, or traveling too much, or communication stuff that doesn't really matter in the end, performing, staying balanced, doing the 8 dance, and putting on a display, holding back money, time, and energy to save the momentum for his new life. A boomerang effect, pulling back the rubber band and aiming in your direction, but the holding pattern, it's what he's scared to release. Okay, so again, pulling back the rubber band and aiming it in your direction, that boomerang, to build up the momentum and then to release, but in perpetual holding pattern, because the divine masculine is scared to release that rubber band, that arrow pointed your way. The prisoner or hostage of anxiety issues, of release into bliss, right? Afraid of that bliss, because if they let go, will their heart just get hurt again in that bliss? And then it'll go back to love, reign on me, right? So it's pulling the arrow back, but being afraid to release. Give your relationship a chance, chemistry, unrequited love, and then soulmate. So this has to do with any kind of release, even that orgasmic release, afraid to release, because then what then? Once it's over, then what? Release the hostage and allow your heart to crack open wide and feel the bliss, all of it at once. The fear that once you get what you want, or worse, that you don't, what else would be left to dream for? No more unexpected gifts, no more longing that makes you feel alive. But in real love, the gift never ends, only ebbs and flows down the river of bliss. You may hit a big rock or two on the way, but nothing you can't overcome together, and then back on your way. Around the divine masculine, the lovers is reversed, the emperor reversed, holding down the fort, but out of control, in ego death and no affection, to come together or celebrate the end to a family perhaps, a father, a mother, or end to unhappiness, to end an emotional cycle, or divorced and laying low. Okay, so there could have been a loss of a family member here, could have been a passing of a mother or a father, but also the end of, so there's a big ending here, whether it's family, an emotional cycle, a divorce, a love relationship, but masculine needs to clear blocks of PTSD. The Queen of Pentacles reaping rewards while you are doing the work and left out in the cold. Well, what were you, divine feminine, saying, in the past 3 and 2 years ago, and even today? Well, now the masculine saying the same thing. Holding their tongue and loss of money and status for the masculine, or dealing with a greedy man, or connecting etherically with a father, or suddenly realizing what the divine feminine had said to him a long time ago, or to you when she lost her father, if the masculine is losing his parent right now. The great suffering of the connection between them because he refused to be authentic with himself, let alone with her. And that was at 111. 1 is the magician, 11 is justice. Or the sudden events or epiphanies of the divine masculine's own suffering in silence. Music comes up, self-love, but even more so for the masculine today is abundance and time out. Allow yourself the time out. Allow yourself the abundance. The King of Pentacles takes off the Superman cape in a divorce or a settlement, or justice situation, which is just truth and balance ultimately. 2 spoons of fruit, and please don't call me in the morning. Taking a big risk to receive and save downloads. Aligning with desires, creative side, and working out the details. One child helping the other, getting everyone to pitch in and do the work instead of doing it all himself. Fair and spiritual, helping the little ones who struggle with their worth. Risking being outside the mainstream, divorced without affection or lover, but with abundant family, and he's the man of passion, or with a temporary need to deal with third energy while not in physical union. The Queen of Wands reversed is pissed and frustrated in a turn of fate or downturn in her sex life or creative blocks. The opportunist is caught, lying, cheating, or stealing, or running from their responsibilities, or pretending not to know when they did, and didn't do anything about it. The Queen of Cups is coming up loving and in their intuition, in knowing about moving or an end of a marriage, or coming into union, they just know, with jealousies and sincerity taking from unhappy person alone due to jealousy or refusal to give love, now choosing left, the new path of dropping burdens and confessing passion, or that the secret is now out. And that's why the Queen of Wands reversed is pissed. Letting go of attachments that no longer serve in a detox situation or chaos, and fell from grace or fell on his face, lacking faith in himself. Knowing, the King of Cups reversed, pretending not to know, when offered a great love, that love was handed to him on God's hand. A painful end with a secret out, pending a new life at the full moon, and at night, doing the work in a divorce, justice, or Libra and just balance, without a lover in breakup, but abundance of family is her help. And the time up here was 125 when he was offered a great love. That hand from God was the 125, the Magician and that Knight of Wands, becoming, his coming into his passionate feelings and allowing himself to be. The challenge being patience and surrender, and that PTSD, getting moving physically to take the risks, in knowing of the Queen of Cups love, and that they're not in physical union, yet he was offered true love. The full moon, abundance, the Empress, Mother, and Gaia to help co-create and do the work with dream family, moving passionately to get busy physically, and the challenge being patience. Justice, divorce, settlement, and balance to surrender to the dance of the 8, that flow between your masculine and feminine within, perpetually doing the dance, in a breakup after the War of the Roses, the PTSD, and need to take the risk to be in their knowing of the Queen of Cups love and move or end a marriage or celebration, which would in itself be an offer of love. Okay, so that was the read. I'm going to show you the cards before I get into the 12 cards. I put some out already to save time. And we'll get to that and we'll clarify them as I go through them. All right, so you have the moon here and the underlying energy. The recent past is an abundance card that you can't see because it's covered in so much stuff. Then we have the 8 of cups or chalices here. The cards were just justice and the 7 of wands reversed. I think that was it. Then here in the center we have the 10 of pentacles or the 10 of crystals, you see. The challenge being the alchemy card. Then the other underlying energies here, crowning is that Knight of Wands. It's called Flames in this deck, the Sirian Starseed deck. And then we scroll over to here in the near future is the 2 of crystals, which is like the surrender in this deck. Okay, masculine sees himself as justice. Around him is the Lover's card. The blocks he needs to clear is the 5 of swords. And then up here we end up on the 7 of swords, with the 2 of pentacles above it, which is upright, and then the Queen of Cups upright, and then the 4 of flames or wands, which is reversed. And then we end up here on the Ace of Cups. What a lovely way to end the read. And then you see with the number cards, the underlying energy is love and love partnership. Beautiful. Then we get over here to the 12 signs. So we have the underlying energy there at the top. and then all 12 signs. We have the Kipper and the Rider-Waite cards down, and then we have summary cards down here, which I'll get into in a minute. Sorry about the phone. Okay. I put them down already too? Oh, I actually put 3 decks down already. So I put down the Rider-Waite, the big cards. I also put down I have the Rider-Waite on the bottom there, and then I have the Thoth deck is here too, which I should put on top, and then I have the Kipper deck on top, and I'm going to clarify with the mini Rider-Waite too. So we have this as the underlying energy. So we have the 5 of Swords here, which for me is the war within, because there's only a war without if you have a war within. This is also adamantly standing in your truth, and sometimes you need to be this way. However, you know, it's not really much of a show of love and keeping your heart open. It's more just standing in your truth and not allowing other people to take you out of your truth. So you may be like this initially when you haven't, you know, when you're not secure in that open heart energy yet. And then we have above the fire or the water signs is the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed above the air signs, the Queen of Cups reversed above the earth signs, and the 3 of Wands reversed above the fire signs. So I'm going to shuffle just a little bit more with the mini deck. What was here? The bottom of the Thoth deck is Virtue, which is the 3 of Wands. That's like the 3 of Wands being present. And it's next to the bottom of the Kipper deck, which we had the Official Person. So the official person of virtue, so an upstanding citizen. You know, which this could be someone very much in their truth. But where is the love? Okay, that's what that brings up for me. So we have that in the downturn events or slowdown in the retrogrades, and the King of Pentacles, who's ungrounded because of this slowdown or loss of money and status, or just could be a greedy person as well. And then the Queen of Cups, who could be just very emotional right now, very sad or ungrounded herself, or at worst, you know, manipulative in a severe way. And then both of them being reversed in those energies in the downturn is not being present, but looking back, and that's why they're ungrounded. They're looking back, going back, or living in the past. And it's bringing up this energy of wanting to defend yourself. All right, so we start with Aries. Aries had the Ace of Pentacles here. So Ace of Pentacles, and then the Thoth deck is the Ace of Wands, and then the main male. So there's really positive energy here. 2 aces, Ace of Wands, a new life, Ace of Pentacles, the new life, Ace of Wands, the new passion, and the main male for Aries. Let's see what else is why. We have somebody might be going back to start that new life, but they may be feeling defensive. There's no love or heart opened in this card. Let's see what Aries has. All right, so this is Aries. So this is about no longer reaping rewards, like it's time to invest again or make a plan, implement a plan, right? But it's going on the new project, or how you're going to spend this money now if you're not going to just hang out and enjoy that money. And this is the 6 of Wands reversed, and then the Queen of Wands upright. So this can be feeling like a failure. It can be bad news as well. It can be not getting attention and being in need of attention. So now somebody may implement a plan to get that attention, or literally want to stay under the radar because they feel like a failure. But she's upright here. So, I mean, ultimately there's positive energy here. We have 2 women face to face, upright, but maybe want to plan to meet with each other under the radar, but someone could lose their patience, all right? So this person may think of this person as a fallen angel or an impatient person, and may expect this person to come clean. Or this person may think this is someone who's sneaky, right? Or tells half-truths. Maybe she's not sure if she can trust them. Or this person wants her attention, but she's mad because she hasn't been getting her attention, so now she thinks all these negative things about her. Right? So it's just the need to know, and this is why there's that defensive energy here. Like whenever people start developing stories in their mind and they don't know the truth, they become defensive to say, what's my strategy plan to be in defense of whatever they're going to say to me? When you really want to come together because you like each other. You know, you want to be friends. So that's the energy I'm getting there. But there's also here coming up the King of Wands reversed. And there's a new beginning. Like this could be wanting to start over with a friend, or these could be lovers as well. But you know, there's always it's the two sides of the story and whose story is right. And then this person may be backed up by this person, but this person doesn't want to have to deal with these two over here. And he may be the sneaky person. He may be the fallen angel. He's the one who's reversed here. He's the one who's tired and frustrated, so he could be angry as well. Some definitely conflicting energies there with Aries, with the main male. And that could be definitely a main male with two different women, maybe starting one way, like there's the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. He could be starting two different things, like a new life with one woman and a new passion with another woman, going back to the past. And so they could both be pissed at him. Then we have Leo, the Hangman, the Dominion reverse, which is the, the Two of Wands, but it's reversed. And then we have the Message. So this is for Leo. And this could all just be, it doesn't have to be happening. It could be looking back because we have the Three of Wands up top. So it could just be looking back at these situations that happened before. And now where do we go from here when we come back to work things out? So Leo, hanging out, feeling like they have no options or no choice in the matter, either receiving or sending a message. So let's see what comes up for Leo here. Maybe they felt like in the past they had no options because of a message they received or because of a message they sent or didn't send. Or maybe didn't know what to do with it. All right, this is Leo. Okay, so this is home or union or a big celebration, a party. It could be a big celebration where this person's very excited to come in with the truth and backed up by the whole entire family, but it's in a positive way. It could be an announcement at this celebration, or a big announcement or gift of a home to them, and they can't wait to tell them. There's very positive energy here, but they had to wait until everything was all settled. There could be a quest or some kind of competition that was settled, and this was the prize. Expressing feelings back and forth. And this could just be playing, you know. I'm getting like the Kennedys, like a big wealthy family and them playing ball in the yard. There's big celebration. There's a lot of happy family energy here. But it's like looking at the past. Don't forget at the top of Leo. So this could be what you felt like your life was in the past, like the Kennedy life, basically. Hanging out, being the man or the woman, right? No options because you have everything already. And then came a message, which changed it all. All right, so that's Leo's theme. But there's a lot of, whether this is past or present, these clarification cards are major family happiness. Then we have Sagittarius with the Strength reversed, and Futility, which is the Seven of Swords. So this is like that risk card or liar, cheater, thief card, whatever you want to call it. But we have strength of weakness or ego death, needing the courage, needing the strength, and then futility of it all, right? There's too much of a risk involved for sudden wealth. Someone maybe feels too weak to take this risk, like it's a big gamble. So let's see why that's coming up for Sagittarius looking back, saying, well, the reason I didn't do it was because it seemed like too much of a gamble to me. I don't play that way. Or they do play that way and they may have lost it all. So this is Sagittarius. We have, that's connected to Aries because we have that brand new beginning offered to those who've been left out in the cold. This is abandonment, out in exile, injured, kicked out of the church, community, establishment, whatever it was, definitely felt left out in the cold. And now somebody is offering maybe retribution, possibly. Okay? Offering help to those, because those people are actually offering what little they have. It's like the person with the penny offering their penny up, and now something big is offered to them. And something even bigger on the way. So this is finding your independence, like coming from nothing and making your first coin on your own, and then building that to this on your own. Having done it all yourself, after having lost it all. Like may have come from a rich family, but then kicked out of the family and had to start out on their own. And this is like the showing what they went through to earn what they have. They did it the right way, the hard way. But look what I feel now, I'm accomplished. But that's as a single person. But look what comes in after that. There's great pain and betrayal of a family or a home, or a loss of a home. And this now comes in from this big family that may have kicked them out to begin with. Okay? So that's very interesting. So that big wealthy family, they kicked them out and they made it anyway. Now the family's coming back in wanting to enjoy some of what they've made. Okay? So maybe they have been abusing them. Or maybe now they're welcoming them back into the family. But this is the Sagittarius needing the courage to take the risk, to cash in. So however that applies to you. Then we have the Earth signs with the Queen of Cups reversed up top, and she could just be crying tears of joy, so she doesn't have to be negative. We have the Queen of Pentacles here with the Wealth card, number 10, and Message of Concern. So this seems tied into Sagittarius. This is Taurus. So she seems fine and stable and grounded. And we have this big wealthy family that she's connected to that receives a message of concern of this Queen of Cups up top, who could be sincerely crying and emotional, or they could think that she's manipulative. So let's see what that says with Taurus. All right. So this could be some grieving, whether it's sadness and loss, or regret, guilt, and shame, in a lie, one big lie, or a split, or a need to cut through the BS and offer somebody love already. Okay, so someone received a message of concern, which somebody knows why they got the message, because they're sad. There's a big lie, or a split in a relationship, but needing to cut through or finally tell people what's going on, but here's someone coming out to offer love in surrender, because the secret's out. Not sleeping at night and rising above, levitating in the aftermath and the PTSD of sorrow and depression, and having gone through all of that, and now coming out the other end. All right, that's Taurus. So whether there's a message of concern one way or the other, which is spurring this to come out and be resolved, and then come full circle to the happy life that you always wanted. So this is the Five of Cups reversed for Virgo. So this has to do with getting over the loss, guilt, and shame, or just grief. And we have adjustment here. There's an adjustment period in the aftermath of the war. And this is coming up at Trump card number 8, which would normally be strength. But this is more the Justice card. It's 8, but it's the Justice card. So it's adjustments need to be made. So it's just the balance that needs to happen after the war. It takes time, grounding and integrating. High honors is here of a 3-gun salute. This is graduation, that you made it. You made it through this. That was very painful. You did the grounding and integrating, and now that you're being given a 3-gun salute, or even a 6-gun salute. There's 2, 2, and 2. It's like a pod or a monad, even, of high honor for Virgo. for what you've been through, okay? So here, this is the release. So you're being released from your prison, whether it's real or in your mind. And here's choosing the new path, the left of the new, the divine feminine, away from the deception. Or the illusion of dropping one's burdens, right? It can appear to be that way, but that doesn't mean it's so until you actually choose the new path and follow it to release yourself from your burdens and anxieties. This can also reference the early morning hours. It doesn't have to be deception. It also represents the new moon. So this could be Virgo choosing the path and implementing it at this next new moon, which comes up, when is it? So we have around the 28th. I don't know the exact day, but somewhere around the 28th is the new moon. And today is very much about the 28th in the read. So about dropping the burdens by the new moon. And this could be the brokenness, right? Dropping the burdens because you hurt yourself, you carried too much, you became broken. This could be a car broken down, it could be cancellation of a move or a travel, or just your brokenness in the journey of the no affection, the breakup of a love relationship, and the Emperor losing control and ego death. And in a divorce, becoming more spiritual outside the box, aligning with your true self in order to come out when the wheel comes forward, your destiny. That your time has come, is what I was just getting, okay? So be patient with yourself. Then we have Capricorn, the 5 of Wands reversed. The Star reversed. So there could be some depression here for Capricorn and the occupation. So you're not happy with the work that you do, that it makes you depressed. Or just losing hope. There's no expansion here. Or maybe you've done all you can do here, so there's no fun in it anymore, right? The fun is in the expansion, which would be the upright, the quest. So let's see what else is coming up for Capricorn and why the Queen of Cups up top is crying, because she's depressed. There's nothing new here anymore. She needs to find something new in the way she works in order to expand her business and make it more fulfilling for her. All right, so it's getting busy to juggle and perform, grounding and integrating a new offer of love, perhaps someone new in your group or someone new to what you work, or an aspect that you didn't see before that might add dimension to what you do, more happiness, to manifest and make your dreams come true. And release yourself from that prison of depression. Just because you're kind of at a stalemate at work, you need to just add a little spice to it, that's all, and choose a new path. So it's very simple for Capricorn. It's just maybe bored with your work, but maybe feeling very depressed about it. But all you need is a little tweaking about what you do. It may be that you already love what you do, but it needs to be expanded. Okay, so don't let it get the best of you. Gemini has the Fool, free with an open heart, ready to take a leap. But we have defeat here. It's like the 5 of Swords, right? The enemy, the guy at war, and the expectations. So your only enemy is your outcome, is your expectations. You should just be free in the moment and let it fly. We have the King of Pentacles above that reverse, so let's see why for Gemini. Well, that flipped over, and look who it is. The Knight of Wands with that King of Pentacles reversed, which is right above Gemini. So these two are trying to dance, but look at these two trying to dance together. Do you really think this is going to work ultimately? This is trying to reconcile opposing forces. Somebody going back who's energetic and passionate, and then someone who's not moving at all. He's stuck. Either he's greedy, or he's just ungrounded, or he lost business and money. So maybe he's just feeling a downturn of business. And this person's going back. So how do we go forward? If you're going back and I'm stuck here, just keep doing the daily and see what comes along and ground and integrate to make magic. It's just to trust and have faith. Do the dance. Keep the balance with good patterns, not the bad ones. If the bad ones, you need to break them. This is just like get back on the horse again. Do the daily until the universe helps you find what the other options are. And then all of a sudden, a choice comes your way automatically when you least expect it. And then the magician comes in and releases you from your burdens because you make a choice. It's all about making that next choice of path or options here. So that was Gemini. Then we have Libra has the Knight of Swords. And Knight of Swords was connected to that big family before coming in with the truth. He has fortune and despair all at the same time. All right, so the Wheel of Fortune and despair of the 32, which is the journey. Being on the journey of great fortune and the messenger of truth, but feeling despair at the same time. So why is the King of Pentacles reversed there? Why is he in despair? So again, it's all about grief of loss, guilt, or shame. A lie, a split, a truth that needs to be told. Pulling Excalibur from the stone in order to just come out with it and be love. That's it. It's cutting past the crap to get to the love. Let go of this. Go here to surrender. The secret's out. Rising above. In the aftermath of the War of the Roses and all the depression, loss of hope, in order to come out on the other end with the brand new life. All right, so again, that was connected to Aries and Leo, I think it was. Leo had all that family stuff. Yeah. So it's just going through the journey, but keep it going. The universe will bring you what you need if you're not sure. When you're not sure, do nothing at all. Meditate, take a walk, exercise, whatever makes you feel good. Be in joy. Temperance is for Aquarius, reverse, which is some impatience, or fallen angel. Could be somebody totally out of control as well. We have luxury reversed here, so somebody might have lost their luxury. We have the Four of Cups here, which is about wanting to start over again in love, but not settling for the crap this time. They want what they want. They worked very hard for it, and they're impatient to get it. So the King of Pentacles reverse may have lost money after working very hard, and now is impatient and losing his temper because things haven't been going their way. Yeah, losing their luxury, losing their religion. All right. So this is coming up for Aquarius. So could be third-party interference or third-party situations, period, overindulgences, gossip, not socializing, just being unhappy, no joy, not having a social life in general, and coming out of that to go forward and offer something more practical as opposed to partying all the time in luxury, doing whatever you want, which got you nowhere, got you unhappiness, to come out and be the loyal servant, to help those to help themselves who are not happy with themselves or alone, to dump attachments to things that no longer serve. Okay? And allow your world to turn upside down so that you can then right it, make it right side up again. To feel defenseless, allow that to come in and learn not to care that it's only your higher self that you need to answer to. Allow the fall, allow you to be pushed to your emotional limits, to see the truth. The decision is made. Going back to the past, the only way it's going to help you is if you just go back to get your twin and then bring them forward with you. Finding your true happiness, your true self. Finding happiness within. That's Aquarius. It can be your kids as well. So for Cancer, we have Justice with the Wheel of Fortune reversed up top, and that could just be timing. Then we have the Hangman, which is 12, and the Child. So this could just be Libra energy, or it could be the justice system or some kind of divorce or settlement, and just hanging out with kids. Because the Wheel of Fortune is reversed, so it's not time yet. Just hanging out with kids. So let's see what else Cancer's bringing up. Okay, there's that King of Pentacles reversed. So he just needs to keep doing the daily until things turn around, until he's able to ground and integrate through this period, until something new is offered. Right? So he's just waiting for business to turn around again. It might just be the cycle during the year that it's always slow. And get ready to get manifesting again. And release self from anxiety and prison. Choosing that new path, the new way to go forward in your business and in your life. But in the meantime, learning to enjoy the time you have with your kids. Or your inner child. Then we have Scorpio with Judgment, which is Aquarius, and then the Eon or Aeon is the Judgment card. So it's double judgment for Scorpio. Wow, that's powerful. And then the Journey. I mean, you can't get more powerful than this, because the world at the end at 21 is the end. So this is really some big stuff for Scorpio here. Going on a big journey here. XXXX. And 10 is like the Wheel of Fortune. So as soon as that Wheel of Fortune up top goes forward, boy, is Scorpio going for it. Let's see what Scorpio has. Scorpio. All right, this is looking back to the past, going back to the past, or having lived in the past. Now being your authentic self with new friends, or your children, or going back to the past to hang out with an old friend. But it's beautiful energy here, whether it's an old friend or a new roommate, and really inspired by it. This is beautiful here. So they might have been off balance for a little bit, not in the present, but now they're in a new situation with a fresh new perspective and really young energy, beautiful, and very inspired by it. Okay, there may be some separation initially from whatever you've left behind. And you may have some stuff to work out between each other, right? When you don't want to cross each other's line, especially if it's roommates. Or injustice between you. But it's just about holding on loosely, not too tight, right? But not letting go. It's all good. You'll work it out. It just takes time to adjust. You know, some people are crybabies and want their way, but some people are just vulnerable and shy. And that's just naturally who they are, and they need time to get used to you. Okay, and then we have the King of Cups reversed too. So there's maybe some alcohol involved here, so kids and their parents may have some vices. But there's 3 people here. This could be someone, a new roommate or new person in your life, an old friend who has the same issues that their parents had. Or this could be like the mother, the grandmother, the father, and then the child all living together as well. This is coming up for Scorpio, so I don't want to keep going. There's a lot of cards here. But mainly it's just about some really fresh new energy coming into your field. All right? And it could be a little challenging. You could get your feelings hurt at first, but it's not a big deal. It's just working it out between you guys. All right? Don't let that energy take you down. There's always grounding, integrating, getting used to other people in your environment around. All right, so here's Pisces. We have the 10 of Cups reversed, so either a very unhappy family or ending an emotional cycle. And then the Devil and bad health. Okay, so a family may be unhappy because of their own vices, dependencies, addictions. Because of that and negativity could have contributed to this bad health, or it could just be depression, anything. Could be, doesn't have to just be physical health. It could be emotional, spiritual health, whatever it is. Let's see what Pisces is coming up with. Okay, so Pisces has the supportive big family here. It looks very positive here. I think someone's just depressed. And the Devil could be just a Capricorn person. Right? Maybe they're just depressed, and now all of a sudden the family, different families all come in to cheer them up. A message of truth, but it's very positive. Come and play with us. Come home and stay for a while, right? Come home. Come home and express your feelings and be happy for a while. That's what it is. It's like family all gathering around. It could be someone who's in really bad health. at the end of their life, where families now gathering to be with them at their last moment. So in the same way, it's still okay because everyone knows this person's in a lot of pain and they need to go. So it's either that someone's passing and the family's all gathering around to be there for them, or someone's just kind of unhappy right now or feeling insecure and the family's saying, you know, come home, or we'll come over there, we'll bring the whole family and make you feel better. So it's actually very loving energy for Pisces. Everything will be turning up soon as the Wheel of Fortune's reversed. This is timing as we push Saturn and Pluto forward on October 3rd. So then we come to the end, and the Ten of Swords is here at the bottom of the deck. So just dealing with the last of that, you know, long, painful ending and betrayal, or just back pain, getting massages and acupuncture type stuff, or anything to do with back pain. And then underneath that is the Nine of Pentacles. So like you were all good and everything until it came to this. So just dealing with this stuff that you don't want to deal with. And then the one card that came out from the Kipper deck was the Privileged Lady, and that was for everybody. So whether that's you or someone in your life, that's what's coming into focus now for everyone, the Privileged Lady. So in reference to that stuff, what comes up underneath the fire signs is the Page of Wands reversed. So feeling uninspired or frustrated and pissed and having a tantrum. Could be a kid as well. Under the fire signs. Under the earth signs here is not getting sleep, not sleeping at night or rising above. Feeling disconnected because you're not getting enough sleep, or literally levitating because you're so wired or so spiritually connected, one way or the other. Then we have under the earth or the air signs is the Star reverse, which has to do with loss of hope and depression, not shining your light. And you see how these are all reversed. And then we have water, which is ending up with heaven in their eyes. Lots of options and synchronicities. And they're starting to see the light. This could be someone passing away, literally seeing their angels and telling their whole family about it, which would be a really cool experience, even though they're passing away. This could be a really defining or beautiful moment for somebody else's life. And this is also reading for everyone together to let go of that lack of inspiration and frustration and rise above. Rise above. If you need to feel sorrow, then cry. Don't just sit in the depression. See the synchronicities around you and all your options. What sticks out and radiates to you. What sparks your interest. But look at all the beauty that's around you. Then we have the King of Cups reversed, right? Someone who's feeling disconnected or emotionally detached or manipulative or has alcohol issues. Okay, this could be someone who's just attached because they're going through a divorce, or they want to be more spiritual, or just outside the box, or leave the religion, leave the church, leave the establishment, leave the patriarchy, whatever it is. They're not happy in what they were, so they need to change it up to make themselves authentic to who they are. And then we have the Hermit, who could have some mental issues, right? Because you're staying inside or alone too much, needs to come out with it in order to heal. Allow the Queen of Swords to talk about it if you like. And this could be her coming out to talk about it, just like I'm doing now. Then we have talking about the unhappiness with self and why. To let go of it. To not be defensive. This is the wounded warrior protecting your wounds. Not letting go of the past wounds. You're no longer these things. You're only what you are at the present moment. You're no longer all of that. You don't need to defend your wounds. You need to keep your heart open to allow that open love to come back to you. You need to cut through the crap and the lies. Let go of the lies, but you might be going through a split. Express your feelings and be done with it. Sudden events, explosions, epiphanies, and orgasms. Once you express it and get it out, this is what happens. So let it out, guys. All right, I'm going to let you go now. It was just 109.19. So 1s and 9s for sure, the Magician and the Hermit. Drink your water, get your rest as much as you can. Cry if you need to. Be in joy. Go out and get some exercise. Breathe in the sun and the fresh air. And just mostly, guys, rise and be love.